Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. Today I'm going to make some grape juice on the new Whole Health Foundation Premium Model Juicer, and I'm going to explain the benefits of the Whole Health Foundation Premium Juicer. Let's go to that video clip now. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is use a bamboo liner with grapes, because that prevents fruit from sticking to the cloth. And I want to also point out that I'm going to use what's called a number 3 grid, usually used for almond juice, because I want the stems and the skins of the grapes to be shred a little better. And I want to point out that there's more resveratrol in the stems than in the grapes, so you want to be shredding the stems as well as the grapes. So what I have here is 2 containers of grapes, and I'm going to point out a few tips. One tip is to keep this covered at all times, and between feeding new grapes and you want to shut the machine off. So let's put the thermometer in and let's begin. We turn the machine off, put in more grapes. Now if you don't turn the machine off with very moist fruit like grapes, it's going to spit out because it's much too moist. Okay, we'll turn it on again. Now I'm also going to feed in 3 ice cubes, even though the grapes are cold, because I want the cutter and the feed tube to be cool. And a little bit of water is a good thing with grapes because it's much too concentrated anyway. Feed in more grapes and you see my temperature drop down to 18.6. That's a good thing. Feed in more grapes with the stems. We'll feed in more grapes. Remember, if you don't feed in, stop the machine between feedings, you're going to spit grapes up to your ceiling, and you don't want that. Same with cantaloupe, same with any fruit that's very moist. Remember, with grapes, shut the machine off in between. You don't want all this moist produce to be spitting out onto your ceiling or yourself. I want to point out one tip with most vegetables, and especially with fruit, is you're always going to have a little bit of skin down in here, like you have here. And what I'm going to do to force that skin through and make sure it's shred properly is I'm going to pour a little bit of grape pulp in here and push it through. Now, the next step will be to pour the pulp into the bamboo liner, but first I'm going to clean the feed tube. Unplug the thermometer, pull out the grid holder, bring it over here, and with a knife we're going to cut off that pulp. I'm going to set the grid holder and the grid aside to clean later to make this video a little short, and we'll take off the feed tube. And let's see how much of that pulp we can get out. I'm going to get as much of this pulp as possible. Now, because this is very liquid, I'm going to pour half of this container in here. And I'm going to point out one of the advantages to the Whole Health Foundation Premium Model. I'm going to fold this, and with fruit I want to show you a special folding technique. Look very carefully. I'm going to fold this under so that it minimizes any pulp from squeezing out. Now I'm going to put 2 cloths full of pulp at one time through the press because you get better pressure. Now grapes are usually very difficult to press. You almost need a grape press, one of those apple cider presses, but I'm going to show you here. Look how I fold it under. And let's get a container for the juice. Now I want to point out also that I always like to clean my juicer before I start pressing. And I'm going to point out that the cutter goes up here with the hole down and the grid holder goes back in. So let's take the juice tray, put the folded cloths on centered. That's very, very important. Now, all the way back and you back it off. You want it to go up slowly. Now, as soon as it starts flowing juice, I'm going to advance it a little bit more, not too quickly, and a little bit more. And once we have most of the juice, I'm going to advance it all the way. Here's the advantage to the Whole Health Foundation juicer. Because of the solid bottom plate, you can leave this press up for a minute or longer. Most of your best nutrients are in the last 10% of your press. You're going to leave it going until it starts dripping drops. Well, that's about a half a minute. Now, because we're putting in more pulp, you need not wait for every last drop. So I'm going to take this out and we're going to use what I call the less work method. You unfold this bamboo liner and put just enough to press. Pull this into a package again. And you notice I'm reusing the bamboo liner. And the bamboo liner minimizes cleanup. I notice it bursts at the corners a little bit, but that's pretty normal. And pull it into as tight a package as possible. Press this down, that's very important. Watch the folding technique for fruit. And you'd use this for greens as well. You fold this under, and that's going to minimize any leakage. And we'll unfold the bamboo liner again. And again, watch the folding technique. Instead of folding it like so, I'm tucking it under. This is very important for fruits and leafy greens that are very slippery. Center it in the tray, all the way back and back it off. You want fruits especially and greens which are very slippery to go up slowly. And then we're going to advance it a little bit more, and then all the way. Now again, we're not going to wait for every last drop. We'll turn the machine off. We have a little bit of pulp left here. So we'll unfold the bamboo liner one more time. You can see it's still very, very moist here. Still a lot of juice left in here. And we'll fold that bamboo liner over. Now, since this is my last pressing, what I'm going to do with this last liner in the second cloth, because it's still very, very moist, I'm going to put that on top, fold the cloth into as tight a package as I can get it. Look at my folding technique. We're going to fold that under, and this time we're going to leave the press up for as long as a minute. All the way back, back it off. Let's go up a little faster. When it starts flowing, I'm going to back it off. Advance it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then all the way. Now, we're going to leave that up for at least a minute. And I'm reminding you that most of your most important nutrients are in the last 10% of your press. Still getting quite a bit of flow here. That's about a half a minute. We'll leave it go a little bit longer. Now remember, we're trying to get all of the vital nutrients, and there's the advantage to the Whole Health Foundation juicer with the solid bottom plate. You can leave it up for a minute or longer if you need to. Still getting quite a bit of flow here. So there's about a full minute. Let's leave it longer. Okay, I'm going to do one more little trick here. What I'm going to do with this package is I'm going to roll it into a ball and press it again. I want a very, very tight package. So watch my folding technique for grapes. I'm going to fold this under very tightly like so, and I'm going to do the same thing in the other direction. Fold it under. And I folded it into a ball. Let's see if we get any more juice out of this. All the way back it off. And this time I'm going to measure how many more ounces we get out of this. That's a little bit more. That's a little bit more. That's it all the way. There's almost 3 ounces. Let's leave it up again. Again, vital nutrients in the last 10% of your squeeze, and there's the advantage to the Whole Health Foundation Premium. 4 ounces more fruit from wrapping the pulp into a ball, and I want to show you here the pulp is very, very dry. As dry as you can get it. So we're going to throw away the bamboo liner and the pulp ball. We'll wash that cloth later. And let's see how much juice we're going to get from 2 containers. There's 1 bottle. Looks like we're going to get 2 bottles. Two full bottles. Let's do a taste test. Beautiful, but for me much too sweet. I'm going to mix this with 50% water. Let's do that now. Now you want that to be filled right to the top, and I want you to notice, come in really close, and you'll see there's a convex curve on the top. No air in the bottle at all. And that's how you want to store your juice. Now for me, having 50% water makes a very delicious fruit drink. So let's put a little more in here, a little more water. See what it tastes like with 50% water. Much more delicious with water in it. Here's to your health, my friends. If you'd like to call me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. Remember, the Whole Health Foundation juicer gives you a better press, and if you're interested, call me or send me an email. Here's to your health, and I'll see you in the next video.